I don't need to be watching this shit. I stay in too many Airbnbs to be why I don't need to be watching this shit. I'm already kind of nervous when I go to Airbnb anyway. Maybe that's why it worked on me, because I get nothing but Airbnbs when we go out on the road. And there was a time I was staying in Airbnbs by myself. I ain't doing that shit no more. And maybe this just speaks to me, because I've spent some time in a lot of Airbnbs, and there was a couple I was looking over my shoulder tonight. But I do not need to be watching this kind of shit right here. I got a phobia of Airbnbs now. But I will say, maybe it's because I stay in Airbnbs all the time, or maybe it's because this movie is just that good. Because I'm gonna tell you, for me, I'm gonna go ahead and say that this is the best horror movie of 2022. Hey everyone, Double Toasted live in Las Vegas is coming up very soon, October 8th. Join us for a night of comedy, music, games, and a big after party. This is going to be our first time doing a show in Las Vegas, so it's going to be a very special night for us, and we want to share it with you. And if you've never been to a Double Toasted show, ask anybody. It's tons of fun. It's just like one big party that we're sharing with friends. And like I said, we want you to be there. So go get your tickets now by going to x1entertainment.com. Let's go ahead and get into this review that we have right here. I'll set it up like this, though. So, it's a dark and stormy night. You hear me? Mm-hmm. You're in a scary neighborhood. You go up to your Airbnb. It's dark and it's already feeling kind of spooky out here. But you knock on the door. You wait a moment, thinking that, hey, it's supposed to be empty anyway. You know? You get the key out. You get ready to stick into the slot. Get ready to go in, and Pennywise answers the door. Oh my God, it's that clown. Sure, he's out of makeup and everything, but you ain't fooling nobody. You can keep your eyes as drowsy looking as you want to. I know you, Pennywise. That damn clown answers the door. That would be scary enough.
Sure.
Mm-hmm. That would be frightening enough. But in this movie, Barbarian, the spooky stuff, the scary stuff, it's just getting started. Turns out that old Pennywise right here is the last that you got to worry about.
Right.
Old Pennywise right here, that's just
It's like the movie knew you went to watch it.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, they knew that if you open the door and you see him, even out of makeup, you're going to be like, oh, hell no.
Yes. Hell no, no.
And the whole time you're sitting there, no, he's up to something. I know it.
Yeah, people. But I'm not here to actually do this review and kind of keep it vague what I feel about it. I'll tell you, Barbarian, this horror movie that just came out from, was it Fox? 20th Century Fox?
Was it?
Or 21st Century Fox? I'm not sure. I'm not sure who released this movie. You'll correct me on who did. But the thing with this movie, I'm gonna let you know right now. I think it is probably the best horror movie of 2022. This does deal with the Airbnb that becomes immediately very mysterious when a young girl named Terry tries to go in. She's got a job interview the next day, and she's just trying to go in and get some rest and wake up and hopefully begin her path to a new career. But then, as we said, Pennywise answers the door right here. And, we were talking about that's kind of scary enough, but it turns out that the more that they stay in this Airbnb, the more ominous turns there are around every corner. Now, this will be a non-spoiler review. In fact, if it's not in the trailer, if you don't see it in the trailer, I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to mention anything. I'm not going to tell you anything about this. The least you know about it, the better.
That's what he and I said.
Yeah. Some things y'all even mentioned. If you heard the review, fine, but I'm not going to even mention some of those things. I really want people to go into this as cold as possible. Hey, I'm not going to, some of you will even say that's a spoiler what I'm saying. If I said it, it's in the trailer and it's nothing that you haven't seen. Now, unless you just don't want to know or see anything and even a trailer spoils it for you, okay, maybe that's a spoiler thing for you, or maybe you're just spoiler sensitive. But I'm not going to do anything to ruin the moment for you. So let's go ahead and watch this trailer for, as my man here said, Barbarian.
Barbarian.
And we'll come back to give a review but also to explain. These guys liked it a lot too, so I'm sure they'll jump in on this. But explain why, and hopefully they'll feel the same way. Maybe this is one of the best, if not the best, horror movie of 2022.
This is perfectly natural.
I don't need to be watching this shit. I stay in too many Airbnbs to be why I don't need to be watching this shit. I'm already kind of nervous when I go to Airbnb anyway. Maybe that's why it worked on me, because I get nothing but Airbnbs when we go out on the road. And there was a time I was staying in Airbnbs by myself. I ain't doing that shit no more. Shit, Hyatt. With the W, all that, Hotel 6, Motel 6, I'm staying in those.
There's always that thing when you've been traveling a long time, you just want to get to settle down, put your bags down, and you get there, and there's something with the code. Punching the code in, it's not working. You got to call the people, and you imagine getting it open and then the key not being in there. You're like, God damn it.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of other shit that they imagine in this movie. The key ain't the problem.
Oh, I know. No, that's the least of it. That's where it starts.
And maybe this just speaks to me, because I've spent some time in a lot of Airbnbs, and there was a couple I was looking over my shoulder tonight. But I do not need to be watching this kind of shit right here. I got a phobia of Airbnbs now. But I will say, maybe it's because I stay in Airbnbs all the time, or maybe it's because this movie is just that good. Because I'm gonna tell you, for me, I'm gonna go ahead and say that this is the best horror movie of 2022. The scares are actually not even the second, third, or fifth main reason why I like this. I like this. It is scary. I think it is effective that way. But the reason why I think that this is the best horror movie of 2022, it's not based on scares, but how well the movie is directed and how well this movie is thought out, man. Mm-hmm. This is one of those movies where they really did think about how they crafted this movie to get the most effective effect on you as a viewer. The movie keeps you hooked, man, throughout the whole thing.
I was on the edge of my seat the whole time.
Me too. Yeah.
Because you're constantly trying to figure out what's happening. Mm-hmm. Name of this movie should have been What the F***? Because every 10 minutes I'm saying, what the F***? It's one thing on top of another constantly, man. Every reveal leads to another question, and every answer to that question gets crazier. I mean, it's a movie that it constantly escalates. And that's a good point, to the point where when a new mystery was introduced, as much as I like this movie, I said, I don't want to know, because the answer's not going to be good. Whatever that is, it's not going to be good. But I mean, that is what they want you to feel. They want you to have this sense of dread with everything that's slowly being revealed here. The movie here is even the name Barbarian. That is something that even keeps you guessing. Like, what does that even mean? Because I did not.
I honestly, when it was all said and done, I was like, I don't know what this title has to do with anything in here.
The movie keeps you guessing on everything right to the title. Yeah, I left that movie and I said, wait a minute, what the f*** does that mean? Ain't no barbarians in it. I thought they were going to go down to the basement and find Conan or something.
Yeah, like it's a
time portal or something. Yeah, I thought they were going to go time travel back to barbarian days. It's like, because I didn't know what to expect. Because we already talked about some of this. But the moment Bill Skarsgård opens that door, the moment we see him talk to that girl, everybody's thinking Pennywise.
Right.
Yep.
Everybody say, oh shit, is that damn clown.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And this girl about to spend the night with Pennywise. This cannot be good right here. But the director here, who many of you might have seen before, Zach Kreger, who was in the troupe, The Whitest Kids You Know, and has gone on to do some other things with acting and whatnot. Man, I don't know if this is his first feature film. I should have looked that up.
I think he had done some other smaller films, and he was the director on that Whitest Kids You Know movie.
Okay, so it's not
March.
Okay, so it's not his first feature film, but this is I imagine it's his first
horror
venture into horror. And I'm gonna tell you, man, this guy's a great director with this. Again, we got this. It's just like your boy Jordan Peele. Nah, this movie is not anywhere near Get Out. So don't even for anybody start saying, man, don't you go see this and come back saying, man, you said it was Get Out. I didn't tell you that.
You get out.
Yeah, you get out. Yeah, you get the hell out. No, but it's again, we got a guy who does a lot of comedy, who has ventured into just like Jordan Peele ventured into horror, and has done not just a good job, but a very thoughtful and skillful job at it, man. You know, because the way this movie plays out, the Zach Cregger right here, man. You know, he skillfully plays with the audience expectations.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, not only Pennywise is at the door, but the atmosphere in this movie when it opens up. The atmosphere in this movie, man, it adds to the dread. You know, it's classic horror movie setup. You know, it's like when I begin the review, it's a dark and stormy night, complete with that thunder and lightning.
Oh, you've got to be kidding me.
You know, this girl, she's already in the middle of a dark place. She's in trouble. You know, there's a lot of things that are set up for classic horror movies, man. Slasher movies, suspense and thriller movies. And then once we do get into the house, again, he starts playing with us. Like, is this a Norman Bates situation? It gets very awkward. You know, in the way that only a psycho killer can make them awkward.
You got out of the shower because I noticed you didn't drink your tea, and I totally get that, by the way. I mean, you don't know me, and this is a really weird situation. It makes total
Like Ted.
Like the more he talks, the more like,
she's like, well, shit, that's my life. I accepted my fate. I'm dead. I walked into this shit, so. Should have slept in my car. Yeah, and then after something like this continues to go along this line of, well, maybe something might happen, maybe it won't. You know, we don't know. But there's even a moment where, as crazy as and awkward and creepy as this is, the moment things get relaxed, man. You know, kind of. And here's how and I'm saying this because that's how the director continues to play with you. Because there's a moment it gets so relaxed, you could actually lose yourself in this and forget you're watching a horror movie.
Wow, I said the same thing.
I was like, you know, this if I didn't know this was a horror movie, this could easily just turn into a romantic comedy.
Yes.
Yeah. You really, I mean, you know, because what the director is doing, Zach Cregger, what he's doing is he wants you to probably forget you're watching a horror movie for a moment. You know, he wants you to get relaxed. He wants you to let your guard down just so he can you again after that. Right after that. And it's consistent, as I said. No matter what's going on, there's always something unsettling or puzzling that's happening that just stays with you. You'll see an image, you'll see things, and it's just sticking with you. And even as you're moving on, you're like, okay, why the hell is that like that? You know, watching this movie here. You know, you can't see it in this frame right here, but you know, when you do watch the movie, you're thinking to yourself, why is this Airbnb in the middle of this broke down ass part of Detroit? And because this is a nice Airbnb, man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But the thing is, they said it's a bad neighborhood. No, hell no, it's the apocalypse.
That was a funny thing, because him saying, like, you don't want to stay here in this neighborhood. This is a bad neighborhood. And it's so dark, you can't tell. You're just taking his word for it. The next morning when you see that neighborhood.
Whoa, that shit turned the down.
Yeah, that shit looks like something out The Last of Us.
Yeah.
Or look like a nuclear bomb went off near. Yeah, like every house is tore up.
Except that one.
Yeah, except that one. I ain't talking about dilapidated and poor. I'm talking about inhabitable. Only bums and rats and crackheads meth addicts live in that shit. You can't even see it. I ain't talking about
even
like
the rats are looking to move away.
Yeah. I ain't talking about little graffiti here and there. I'm talking about crack houses everywhere. Yeah, this shit looks bad, man.
Yeah, it looked like The Last of Us.
Yeah, it looked like the apocalypse. And there's one house, a real nice house, and all this torn down, burned down shit over here. Yeah, I mean, this is the kind of shit you look at like mutants in this neighborhood. It's crazy, man.
Yeah, it does build a good reason why she doesn't just sleep in her car.
Yeah, no, you don't. Yeah, when you see this neighborhood, you don't. Yeah, you're right at night. You can't even like in the morning. It's like wow, you couldn't see how bad this shit was until daylight. Yeah, man. They filmed this in Bulgaria too. Mm-hmm. That part I just learned.
Wow, yeah. Bulgaria's not looking good.
There's a lot of places I want to go in the world, but after watching this movie, Bulgaria and hell no, I ain't going over there.
They call that shit Detroit.
Yeah. The only bad review I saw of this was a guy from Detroit.
Oh, really?
Yeah. If you go on Rotten Tomatoes, like I didn't read any of the reviews, but I just went over there because I saw that it had 90-something%. And I was like, really? And I went over there to see how it was doing, and I just saw these fresh tomatoes. The one, man, look, let me just show you right now.
One dude's from Detroit.
Yeah, one dude. I do not appreciate how you portrayed Detroit in this movie.
We've been cleaning it up.
Yeah.
Give us a chance.
Let me show you something here. How you think I'm lying?
Yeah, this movie does not do Detroit any favors.
No, they made Detroit look like a goddamn wasteland. Furiosa should be right through that neighborhood. Nothing but a waterfall of fresh right there. And you get to this one splat, Adam Graham, Detroit News. I am not pleased with your portrayal.
Come on, y'all didn't have to do us like that.
Yeah, boy, shit. They said Detroit ain't nothing to write home about. But if you did, use stamps.com. Wow.
Sure, why not?
I ain't never sent any letters before, but Detroit sucks so much. I'm going old school with it. Yeah, man. I got to take a break right now and talk about our sponsor for the show, but that is stamps.com. And I want to tell you about stamps.com because a lot of you out there, listen, there's a lot of small businesses out there. Some of you guys do your own fulfillment. If you are making any kind of arts or crafts or maybe invoices or anything, you're still doing things by mailing them off yourself through the post office or through postage. And we're in September. Now, if we're in September now, that means the holidays are right around the corner.
Right around the corner.
And that post office is going to be packed. You ain't gonna want to deal with that shit. I'm telling you right now. Hey, listen, I can sit up here and tell you all the perks of stamps.com, but them lines at the post office during the holidays, you don't want to deal with that shit. You know you don't. But stamps.com, they have everything you need to make your postage life easier. It's a 24/7 post office that you can access from everywhere. You can get access to the USPS and UPS services that you need to run your business, and you can do that from your computer. Everybody, hey, look, that's technology for you. Take advantage of it. As we said, this is like a post office in your home right here. You get discounts with USPS and UPS. You know, you can get 86% off their rates, or up to 86% off their rates. And you can use stamps.com to print postage wherever you do your business. You know, if you're running an online store, stamps.com works seamlessly with all the major shopping carts and all the major marketplaces out there. But as I said, man, it's all about convenience. I still have a stamps.com account, and I don't really use it a lot today, but that's why I've kept it, because when I did have it, it was working very well for me. And Mia has actually used my stamps.com because she has some postage stuff that she does.
Okay.
Yeah, and it worked well for her.
And like you said, the holidays are right around the corner.
You don't want to deal with that shit. Now, you know that. You let me help you, man. Come on. Here, not only am I giving you some good advice and help you out right here, but I want to save you even some more right here. Save you some money here. Just go to stamps.com and use the promo code TOASTED and get yourself a special 4-week trial, plus some free postage and a free digital scale. I want to thank Stamps.com for sponsoring this portion of the show, and I want to thank all of you out there for your support. And let's pick it back up here. The thing is, man, when you watch this, I'm not going to say anything more than it's a movie that keeps you guessing. keeps you wondering what's happening. It even at one point has you as if you ain't got enough to think about. Now you got to worry about this fool over here. Is he a good guy? You know, you got to worry about the integrity of another character you see. You know, it's a lot to handle here, and that's great because that's why you on the edge of your seat, because everything, every element, is something that really keeps you wondering. And and that just goes to show you how well this movie is put together. A lot. And when I was talking about that relaxed feeling, because it's not just about the scares in here, man. The actors in here are great.
Yes,
I like them a lot.
yes.
Bill Skarsgård. We've already mentioned him. Who plays Keith, but Georgina Campbell.
She's fantastic.
She
who
did
plays
amazing,
Tess.
yeah.
She's incredible in this. She carries a lot of this movie, man. And I thought that those two were great. And and they're very good together.
Yeah.
Those two.
Yeah, their chemistry, yeah.
I wanted them to keep going, man.
I know. Two kids out here working out.
It had to take that turn for the worst.
Yeah. No,
Invite
it
me
was
to the wedding.
It was very good, man. I mean, I want them to make another movie together, just so I can get what I want. Martin, there's one thing I do disagree with you on in your review. You said that Tess, who's played by Georgina Campbell, you said that she didn't make any dumb decisions. I think she made one.
What's that?
I can't say. That's the thing.
Oh, okay.
I can't say. I will say this. For the most part, no, I'm with you. For the most part, she is smart. She's avoiding all the things that we usually don't want dumb people to do in these horror movies. She kind of knows when she sees a bad thing and knows when to turn the hell around.
Nope.
And I said, thank you. Although I will say there were a few times that she was smart, and again, people out there, do not think I'm being offensive. White people, it is your stereotype. Just like we have our stereotypes, you're dumb in horror movies. And she made the mistake of following the dumb white stereotype in horror movies. There was even a point where somebody was sitting about 3 seats down from me. They said, what the are you doing? And I was like, yeah, you've been doing so good.
Oh, I wish I knew exactly what you're talking about.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Some decisions she makes is just because she is an empathic person where you're like, I don't know if I would go, to try to do what she did, but I could see somebody doing that.
Yeah, but even then, that's what the dumb white stereotype does. They let their feelings get the best of them. I must check this out. Hey, listen, when you hear that white stereotype in a movie say, I must check this out, do not follow them. All right, in a horror movie, because that means that's a setup. You know what that means? Well, that's mysterious. Turn your. Hey, you want to go? You go. As the person of color in this movie, she actually played the right role. But there was a moment or two. The dumb white stereotype was like, well, that's mysterious. What is that? She's like, yeah. What is? Don't do that. No. That's the only time I thought that she didn't make any sense.
You saying you wouldn't be curious? You wouldn't check something? Because you're not thinking there's really something there that's going to come after you.
After what she saw? No. I'm looking you straight in the face right now. No. She saw everything was okay. I can't even say what it is. She went to some room and saw all this stuff and it was weird.
Oh,
but
yeah.
There was one thing I said, that, I'm out. You could, if you and I were together, I'd be like,
no.
Martin, I love you. I'm telling you one more time, come with me. But if you don't, that's on you, man. I'm leaving you here.
Right.
I'm gone now. I'm telling you. I will call somebody when I get down the street. But I would say that their part together in this movie, it was. It's funny how this movie's structured, and that's one of the things I admired about it, because a lot of thought also went to the structure of this film. This part with Bill Skarsgård and Georgina Campbell right here, their part together is like almost like a short little film. And there is a part where it could actually end. This hard short could end right there. And normally where a short like that would end.
Yes, for a short, that would be the end of it.
It would be perfect. It would be like, Jesus, what the was that? And you'll be horrified because you can't explain anything. But this switches off into a whole different story after that. And at that moment, you're like, where is this going? but in the best way. Because now you want to know how all this ties together.
Right.
Right, yeah.
Or does it?
Yeah.
Because I was that part of me is like, wait, am I watching an anthology? What's going
That
on?
is no, that is true. Wow, I didn't think about that. That you could see that as an
Yeah.
anthology, yeah, in a way. You know, because in that short, their relationship goes a lot of places in a very short amount of time, and then they amp it up. There and you could even say that it has a conclusion. But again, this keeps going, man, and that's great because when it seems like the movie has exhausted everything that it has to give, wow, you managed to introduce something new here and pull me in. Not that I was ever out, but you know, the other thing with this film is that I was really surprised at times how funny this movie is, and I'm not saying that it's funny where it's like a laugh out loud comedy. No, that's the thing about this movie that I like. I was surprised at how funny this could be sometimes without playing out like a comedy. You know, because a lot of the humor comes from just watching these characters and their personality and how they react to things. You know, a lot of times how people react to things in a horror movie is actually genuinely funny on its own. And I thought there was a lot of humor in this movie that was working. In the film, like I said, I'm not going to show you anything or talk about anything that they don't already have in the trailer here. And there's a moment in here where we have Justin Long,
AKA AJ.
the character named AJ. Justin Long is in here. And there's a lot of funny moments with this character right here, man. You know, the thing is, the humor in this movie plays into the story. It's not a gag, you know, and we ain't talking about like it's Scream, where it's trying to be, you know, really clever with the humor and anything. No, it stays true to being a horror movie. They said, look, this shit is absurd enough, in a good way, to where, you know, there's enough humor that can be mined from that. But this character of AJ, played by Justin Long, I'll give you an example of how the humor works here and how it plays into the characters and how it plays into the story. This character of AJ, he finds out that his house has a bunch of creepy ass tunnels in it and a bunch of caves underneath and whatnot. And instead of freaking out, he's like, "Oh shit, that's more value than my home." He pulls out a measuring tape and starts measuring all these tunnels in there, these dark ass scary tunnels.
Here we go. Oh boy.
Hello? Again, an example of the dumb white stereotype in the movie. Only the dumb white stereotype would start trying to find out the square footage of the creepy tunnels in their home, where your ass would be gone. I hope.
Yes.
I would be.
Well, especially since he already thinks there's somebody down there.
Yeah. I mean, he started out going down there, "Come on, I'll f you up, I mean it." And he's like, "Oh." Notice he didn't run.
No, he stayed right there.
Hey, my tape measure. Well, you stupid man, you already got your... Justin Long should know better. He already got his eyes gouged out by damn flying Batman and Jeepers Creepers.
Oh, did he?
Yeah. Yeah, tore his ass up. That ending I had some questions about.
I did too.
Yeah, that is something that I just said, okay, that doesn't really make a whole lot of sense here. I don't see how that worked. And it is really far-fetched, man. You almost gonna break your ankle tripping over these plot holes in this right here. At the same time, you know, it's almost this movie's relishing in its absurdity, man, and how crazy it is. Again, it goes a long way when a movie is kind of and aware of what it's doing. And I appreciate that. I appreciated that with this. This movie's a lot of fun. I thought it's great. Watch this movie in a double feature with another film.
Charlie! Tell me that's not a camera.
This is The Rental, directed by Dave Franco. It's another Airbnb horror movie. Yeah. After this, you will never go to Airbnb. You will be going to hotels. Like I said, hotel, motel, Holiday Inn. Yeah, it would be a great double feature with that. Yeah, man. I mean, needless to say, you know, this is a full price for me. This is a very interesting year for horror. Also, I mean, even when things aren't even when we don't see them as a full price, which maybe a lot of people do. There's a lot of interesting things that are happening.
Yeah.
There's another movie that we saw that we'll be talking about pretty soon. So this is a really good year for horror, man. Horror and horror sci-fi. Speaking of Jordan Peele, Nope, I thought was, I can't stop thinking about the movie. I need to see it again. But even though it was a matinee for me, I do think it was a great ambitious effort for that movie. It was interesting. So this is a good year for horror so far, man. And this movie, Barbarian, is definitely up there. I think that maybe perhaps this is the best one I've seen so far, but who knows, man. We'll see what happens next. And I hope that if this is, so far we've seen some very interesting things. I hope that before 2022 is done, we'll be seeing some other horror entries that might be just as interesting and just as good. Makes me excited for it.